Hello citizens and welcome back. This is just a short video on the Guardiola problem at Man City, just something I wanted to say. Look, there's no getting around it. We're on a bad run at the moment. We're the first Premier League champions in history to go 5 losses in a row. We're in a bad run and it's unprecedented for us in recent years, but those of us that are older and remember the 90s and what it was like growing up as a City fan when we were absolutely dire, this is even then this run doesn't really compare to that, because I don't think we were this bad even when we were in Division 2. We were scraping results here and there. We're getting draws, and we're not even doing that at the moment. We're looking bad. We've forgotten how to defend. We've forgotten how to score. We're not creating chances. We're just getting everything wrong. The basics are all wrong at the moment, and I hark back to something I've been saying for a couple of years now with Guardiola as our manager, which is that yes, he's the best manager in the world. Yes, we want him to stay for as long as possible. Yes, he's just signed a new contract, but my word, some of the decisions he makes are just mind-boggling. We can go back to the Chelsea Champions League final. We can go back to the FA Cup final last season. We made a couple of changes and the players didn't perform, against United. We can look at so many games against Tottenham where you're just bewildered. Late game management. The Chelsea game, the 4-4 as well. I've mentioned that before as well. When, we're 4-3 up with just seconds remaining going into injury time. We win a free kick out wide at the edge of their box on the left. And then we take it quick. They counter and get a penalty to make it 4-4. There's so many scenarios where that's happened, or other games where we fall back to, look at the Brentford game as well. Was that last season? I think it was last season or the season before. I don't even know. I think it's the season before, where we fight back, we get an equaliser, and in injury time, we throw everyone forward to try and get a winner. They counter and score. It's happened so many times where we look at the Leeds game as well. We nearly threw that one away. Was it last season? When we fight back, well, we don't fight back, but we get a penalty late on. Haaland gives it to Gundogan to try and get his hat trick. Season before, wasn't it? He misses it. And then all of a sudden, they get a late goal and we're hanging on for dear life. And it's just a repeat thing. Now, at the moment, this is a little bit different because we're not trying to win games. We're not trying to push on late on in the injury time and getting caught out on the break because we've thrown everyone forward. But the thing still applies that we just can't adapt to these situations, that we can't manage games well at all. Look at Feyenoord last week. What a joke that is. 3-0 up, you think things have turned around. We're going to get a result. We're going to get a win. Something we didn't think we'd see up until New Year. And we throw it away in 10 minutes because mind-boggling decisions, mind-boggling reasons. Pull back pass. I don't even know what he's trying to do, Vardio. I think he was trying to cushion it down to Ederson. Gets it all wrong. Akanji just watches it unfold rather than do anything about it. And then we just collapse. And that's what you call it. You call it a collapse, because late on as well, we win a free kick. We're going in injury. We're in injury time. Or we're just about to enter injury time. We're 3-2 up after being 3-0 up 10 minutes before. We win a free kick. And instead of sitting on the floor like every team does when they're drawing against us, teams time waste at the Etihad from the very first minute of the game. Well, they'll get a goal kick after 40 seconds and the time wasting. You look at Arsenal at the Etihad as well. The Jokers. But they're not the only team that do it. Everyone does it against us. They sit down. They waste as much time as possible, whether winning, losing, or drawing. They slow the game down. Us, we're 3-2 up. We're in the middle of a collapse. We can't get hold of the ball. We've forgotten how to pass. We've made all these substitutions. They don't bring in any fresh impotence or anything whatsoever. They just don't contribute to the game. And we win a free kick and we take it quickly. We don't time waste. We just take it immediately. They get the ball, counter, score. And when they scored that third goal, again, when you've been 3-0 up, you're now 3-2 up, going into injury time, and you've pushed everyone up to the halfway line trying to catch them offside. It's unreal. And looking at this Liverpool game, look, we're always going to get beaten in this game. Liverpool are on fire at the moment. And even when Klopp was there and we were winning comfortably and we were in our best form, we struggled against Liverpool. They're a fast team who play the ball quickly. They don't mess about with the ball. If they see a chance to play it through, whereas we don't do that. They play it through, and Pep decides, he's not going to play anyone with any sort of pace. He's not going to play, he's going to go for technical on the ball players rather than anyone that's going to be able to keep up with them. And this is a thing that we've seen over the years as well. I know that we've had players that have been quick, like Sané. You know, Savinho, Doku, Walker as well. But Pep just doesn't utilize them properly. You know, he doesn't like that fresh bit of pace. He wants players out wide like Bernardo. You know, he'd put Foden on the left if he could, I'm sure of it. Although that's why Grealish is there, I suppose. But he wants technical players that can play multiple positions rather than those ones that are quick. But the tactics that we play, where we sit on the halfway line and we encourage teams to try and play that long ball and try and break the offside trap, which they do so many times. In so many games recently in the last 2 months, we've had our defensive line broken. Oh my God, it's unprecedented, honestly. And you look at how many times Edison's been left 1-on-4, 1-on-3, 1-on-2. It's madness. And we don't fix it. We don't solve it. Pep can go on about all the time about sticking together and doing this and doing that, and this is a bad time, and we've all, you know, we're all in it, and we're going through a bad period, and it was always going to come, which it was always going to come. We can't win every game, we can't win every league. I mean, this season's proven that. I mean, we're going to finish top 10 if we're lucky. I mean, but we've got to turn it around to finish in the top 10 because we're just plummeting, and you just can't see where our fortunes are going to change because Pep won't change. He won't just adjust his thinking to it. He's got to see that you have to sit a little bit further back. You got to let teams have the ball in front of us rather than just break on us because we can't keep up with them. Even Walker's lost all his pace this season. The only thing he was good for was pace. That's gone. So forget any of that. I've seen him destroyed multiple times this season. In fact, every game he's played at, he's been done for pace by everyone. So he's gone. And Pep has to realize that he can't just keep playing our technical players, that he has to mix it up a little bit, that he has to offer something new, because people know now, teams know, we're not going to create many chances. We're not going to take our chances. So they can just sit there on their own box, let us go forward, win it, one long ball, gone. And again, this has been going on for years, but we're being punished for it even more so this season. And Pep has to adapt. He has to change something. And for me, that something is, don't sit on the halfway line. You know, don't stick Rico Lewis in midfield in that CDM role because he can't do it. You know, and we've got to have a clear out in January. We'd have to have a clear out. You know, for me, players, they're up for to go. They've had great times with us. It's always sad to see great players go, and you know, you could argue about statues, this, statues, that, but De Bruyne, Walker, they have to go this season. I think Edison, it's time for him to go as well. I know I've just said that he's being punished for defensive mistakes, which he is. You know, he's the one that's left exposed time and time again, but it's time for him to go as well. Who else is in there? I'm sure there's more players. I mean, you could argue about Gundogan returning as well, but Gundogan hasn't hit the ground running, but he's not the problem. He's just coming at a time when we've been horrible and every single person's been horrible. And again, going back to Pep, one of the reasons that we've been horrible is we've had so many injuries. Yes, we've had to play academy players here and there, but I think we've got good players in the academy. I know we let Palmer go a couple of seasons ago, unbelievable. Delap as well, I don't understand it. But you look at players like O'Reilly, he can play in that CDM role. I'd rather have him in there than Lewis in midfield. I really would. You look at the way Pep plays the system, which is substitutions. You know, his substitutions have always been bad. I've always complained about them. He'll make one substitution in the 91st minute, and then he'll complain about Titus. He wins for years about having 5 substitutions because it was needed, and then he doesn't use all 5 substitutions, or again, he uses them in the last 10 minutes, and we collapse. Look at a 6-3 against United when we should have won that by 10. He makes 5 substitutions in one go. United score 2 quick goals at the end, and it could have been 6-5 that game at the end, or 6 all the way it was going. Another 5 minutes, I think United would have had a couple more goals. You know, numbers times against Liverpool where he'll make one substitution in the 90th minute, and it was Alvarez. Brentford, another example as well. I think he did the same thing, brought on Alvarez in the 90th minute just to lose that 1-2-1 at the end because we pushed everyone forward to win the game. It's things like that that make you question what is in his head. He likes to overthink. You know, he likes to mix up. He likes to confuse the opposition, but he's confusing us, and he's confusing the players as well. Because again, look at, oh my word, substitutions. But the way he plays them. So we've had injuries all season. We know this. We've had many, many problems. And we were coping just about. I mean, this run of defeats I didn't see coming, but I saw us getting beat a few times. Because it was coming. It was on the cards. You know, even that Southampton game, the last game we won in the Premier League, 1-0, we struggled to get through that one. But Pep brings on players that have been injured, and he tries to work them back into the team. So he'll play De Bruyne against Feyenoord. You know, and you're thinking to yourself, he's bringing De Bruyne off the bench against Feyenoord. must be to, give him some fitness ahead of an important, crucial game. But then he leaves him on the bench against Liverpool. He'll play Stones in one half against Tottenham, and then he's not on the team. If these players are not fit to be coming off the bench or to be playing one half of football just to be out for another month or so, what is the point in playing them? Just play the ones you have. Put on the academy players. Like I said, play O'Reilly in midfield. I trust him over I trust Lewis in that position. So I just don't understand. Or McAtee's, or throw him in mid. If you're not going to play De Bruyne, but you're going to bring Foden off for whatever reason, or Bernardo, or Nunez, put on McAtee. You don't have to just play someone for 45 minutes just to not have them in the squad for 3 weeks. If they're not fit, they're not fit. Just forget it, because you're making things so much worse, because players are not getting any consistent football. They're not getting any consistent minutes, and they just can't work up to anything. They're not building up to anything. We're not in pre-season here. We're in a full-blown Premier League season, and we're going into the hardest period of that season. Well, we're in it now. And we just no one looks fit. No one looks like they can run. No one looks like they're strong enough to compete in their one-on-one battles. No one looks like they can jump for the ball. It's been a disaster from this start, and I think we've been poorly managed this season by everyone. I think our recruitment has been shocking the last couple of seasons. I think Pep's in-game management has been off, particularly this season. But it's been a bit wonky anyway since he's been here. But his in-game management isn't always great. His use of the substitutions, poor. It's just one thing after another. And I don't see where it turns around. I really don't. Where does this start changing? Because we got some tough games coming up. Well, our next Forest, we're not beating Forest. I'm at that game on Wednesday. We're not going to beat Forest. Jokers. I know you'll have people in the comments saying 4-0 City, not a proper City fan. Jokers. We're getting beat by Forest. They'll finish above us this season. Guarantee it. And then you look at who have we got? We've got Villa away coming up. United coming up. I mean, Champions League, we've got Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain away. Where does this change? Where does this change? If you're not going to be consistent with your team, if you're not going to be consistent with who you're playing, you're not going to get anywhere, because no one knows what's happening. I don't think the players know what's happening. And yes, we've had a good laugh at the games every now and then. The Tottenham game was hilarious to watch because of how bad we were. So it can be funny sometimes, but at some point it's got to stop, and it has to stop quickly. Well, and Pep can talk all he wants about it being on him and him overthinking stuff, but for the love of God, get the basics right. And that is, play a consistent team. Get some players with pace. And when you do, bloody use them. Stop playing on the halfway line, because the defenders can't do it. They couldn't do it 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago when we were winning leagues. They definitely can't do it this season. And don't play them if they're injured. Because what is the point in playing someone against Feyenoord to leave them out against Liverpool? Strange. No, it's strange. Just give someone consistency. Like I said, I don't even remember if De Bruyne came off the bench against Liverpool. I don't even care. It doesn't matter. Make a difference. The whole thing's been a mess, and yeah, it's not helped. That's about it, really. That's the Pep Guardiola problem. Glad he's here. Glad he signed a new contract. Looking forward to next season. Let's get this one out the way. I mean, you know what? Do you know what's funny? I was just thinking it can't get worse. It's going to get worse. Like I said, we're getting beat by Nottingham Forest on Wednesday. That's happening 100%. Don't see us winning at the weekend. Wow. Because we're just playing to teams' hands. We just played their game. We're not even playing our game anymore. Because what is our system at the moment? What is our style of play? Possession football, wonderful. We pass sideways or backwards now, because everyone in that midfield, other than Foden at the moment, like Lewis, like Gundogan, or whoever else he brings in, they just go backwards. We got wingers who are too afraid to take on the defenders at the moment. We got Haaland, who's getting zero service, and he's having to drop deeper and deeper just to be involved in the game. And to be fair, what chances he does get, he's not taking some of them. But then again, our crossing has always been bad. They're always over his head. How do you put the ball over Haaland's head? He's like 12 foot tall. Our set pieces shocking, defending shocking. Wow, just everything shocking, isn't it? That's the Guardiola problem. That's Man City's problem. Let me know in the comments where you think we're going to fix this, because right now Also, us getting a result before Christmas or New Year. I really don't. Maybe Everton. Is that Boxing Day? Everton. Maybe we'll get a result against them because you never know what Everton team's going to turn up. Until then, wow, we're going to have some fun and some bad times. Thanks very much for watching. As always, thanks for checking it out. Hit like, hit subscribe, or don't. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, I see you at the game on Wednesday, I suppose. Oh, that being said, actually, no, I'll leave it for the match preview. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.